Today we're going to be doing quadratic and exponential functions. So in the years past, one of the things that my students had trouble with is reading. Same thing I have trouble with. So instead of waiting to the end to give you the third type, I'm going to go ahead and give you all three now. So you already have linear, and so today we're adding quadratic and exponential. So I've asked you to put number 1 in L1 and L2. So a reminder, to be able to clear the table, you can go on L1 or L2 and press clear, then enter, and it'll clear everything. And you have to, when you're doing a regression, either linear or quadratic or exponential, you have to put all the numbers provided. So the first one is going to be what? What type? Quadratic or exponential?
I have no clue.
Well, quadratic is x squared and exponential is raised to the x value.
Oh.
So this one's going to be quadratic. And I'm also going to show you how to, for it to auto-populate in y equals instead of you typing it out. Okay, so two things I've asked you to do besides typing it in is go to mode, change your float to 2, and I've got my old calculator, so I didn't get one of yours. And then we need to do stat diagnostic on, and that's in blue on y'all's calculator, so make sure you do those two things. Okay, so now we're going to go stat calculate. Don't click through very quick, I'm going to show you something else. Number 5 is quadratic. Again, don't click through, wait for me. Actually Google something today. And number 0 after 9 is exponential. So 4 was linear. Okay, so we're going to quadratic, and after where it says store required equation, REQ, regular EQ. Y'all ready? Go to VARS, V-A-R-S, it's next to clear. If you forget, I put this on Google Classroom, I found the video. And you don't even have to listen to me do it. And then we need Y variables, so go to the right to Y, and to function, and then you want it to put it in Y1, so press enter. Okay, so one more time. VARS is next to clear. Go to Y variables, function number 1, and you can put it in any Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4 if you needed multiple. And now press enter and calculate. So why do I have my R value? My R value is there. If you mistype a number and your R is not close to 1, it'll tell you you mistyped a number. Unless your numbers are super big. I was helping a student and the numbers were in the 20,000 to 1,000, and I changed one of our numbers 1,000 away from 3,000 to 4,000, and it was still 0.99. So it depends on how far apart your numbers are. This one's fairly far apart. So changing one number by 1,000 is not going to make a huge difference. But if your numbers are fairly close together, if you just change it by inverse two numbers, it could make a big difference. But so it'll help you realize that you mistyped. Okay, so what's my answer? A, B, C, or D?
A.
A.
How do you find out if one's quadratic by just like looking at the answers?
It says quadratic
Oh.
and looking at the answers. But yeah, that's the hard part, honestly, because you'll start putting in the data and going at it. Use the regression equation to estimate the Y value given the X value of 37. So we need to look when X equals 37, and we would normally have to go to Y equals and input that equation. So if you follow the steps, guess what's in your Y equals? And
I see.
the equation, it's already calculated. Whoop, whoop. And if you rounded it to the nearest 10th before you did it, it also rounded it to match your answers. If you didn't change your float to 2, then it's going to round it to the nearest 5 digits. So you might Rounding it to the nearest whole number, I don't know. You can test it and see if it gives you the same answer. So we're gonna go when x equals 37, so go to table set. I'm at 36, so I'm just gonna go to my table. And at 37, my answer is negative 8,000 and what? What'd y'all get?
1 second. I need to get there.
8,272.
Very good.
Can't see.
Okay. Put in number 4, please. And 4 is what kind of equation? Exponential, and it's to the nearest hundredth. So, and so underneath, after 6, 7, 8, 9, that's your exponential. And I'm pretty confident if you needed the equation again, I'm almost positive you have to go through those steps again. I'm not going to go through those steps and see if it'll give it to me.
Is this one exponential?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Correct, yeah. So, if you needed the equation. So, another thing, if you have trouble writing the equation, that might help you also for it to auto-populate. So, stat, calculate, and 0, store, vars, function, y1, okay, so reminder on, let's see if I can get it where you can see on that top line, you have the format of the equation, y equals a times b raised to the x. So you would type in y equals, what's my a?
85.
85, and open parentheses, 0.7, you can put the 0 or not, and what am I missing?
Raised to x.
Raised to x, so you have to hit the x squared, and then so it'll raise it up to the x. And so I auto-populated, so my y equals has it, except they don't use parentheses, they use the asterisk, which I don't even know where the asterisk is. And you might be able to use the asterisk and get more math. I haven't tested it. Okay? Number 2, we're just gonna talk about it.
Let's just do it.
You have plenty to do, I promise.
Plenty.
So, anytime you see years, stop and read your question, okay? So, let x represent the year with x equals 0 representing the year what?
2015.
2015. So, Carlos, what would 2016 be?
I got it.
Okay, so I'll come to you and I'll help you with that. So look at this, x equals 0 at the year 2015. So if 0 equals 2015, what is 2016 going to equal? Yeah, so if 2015 is 0, 2016 is going to be 1, 17 is 2, 18 is 3, 4, 5, and so what is 2023 going to be?
8.
8. Okay, so you're going to look when x equals 8. So when you see the years, stop and read.
It's 0.
And this is what you're looking for, this sentence right here. And then of course you have to realize that you are doing quadratic.
Yeah.
Okay? So, and why is that? Why would it matter?
Because it would be like a different rate because of the 2007.
Yeah, because it's a lot bigger number, right? 2015 is a lot bigger than 0. So if you were just asked the part B right here, if you were just asked that and not the equation, I would personally put 15 or 2015 as 15 and 2016 as 16. So then 2023 would be 23, and life would be easy. I wouldn't have to figure out what 23 would equal, and then I could get my answer would still be correct, but not for the equation. Now it would be close, probably close, but not quite. But if you're asked for the equation, then you have to put in what they expect. If they expect 0 to be 2015, you have to put that in. Otherwise, your answer is going to be off. Your equation is going to be off. The signs are probably they're going to be the same. So if you only have one that's negative, positive, and positive, then you could probably guess and get it correct. Also, one more thing. If all else fails, you can always put your equations in, if it's multiple choice, and see which one gets you closest to those answers. It's not going to be exact, and if you've got two of them that are very close together and give you almost the same answers, you're still going to have to put it in stat. But that is an option. You can backtrack. So if you're ever at the point where you're going to guess right. Okay?